The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users, on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. And thanks to our friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I'm your host, Gary Baumgarten. I want to welcome you to the show on this Friday. We weren't here yesterday to celebrate Thanksgiving here in the United States, but I want to thank Sonny, who played for you a best of encore presentation of News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. That was very kind of you to do so. Well, on Wednesday, when we last met live, ladies and gentlemen, the events in Mumbai in India were just unfolding. Today, we learned that at least 160 people have been killed, more than 300 injured. Among the dead are the rabbi and his wife at the Chabad house at the Jewish center there, which was under attack. I think there were 10 or 11 locations, including two luxury hotels in which they were attempting to target Americans, Brits, and Jews. It was a hereto previously not very well known terrorist organization that has claimed responsibility. As we noted on Wednesday, it was an extremely coordinated, very well coordinated and well conducted series of attacks. Sadly, watching the commandos try to free the people at the Chabad house, we saw that the Indian authorities lost control of the situation as people, a mob scene opened up outside the venue where this was taking place. Very, very dangerous for all involved, including the hostages and the commandos and the reporters who came under attack. And everybody was commingling there. Who knows how many confederates of the hostage takers were among the crowd that was pressing up against the police barricade, which was established way too close to the location. Anybody could see that. Pretty bad, very bad situation. It got so bad and it carried on for so long that those commandos became so exhausted that they were relieved by another group of commandos. Last we heard, there's still a gunman that's involved in fighting at the Taj Mahal Hotel. The other standoffs around the city seem to be coming to an end. A lot more questions than answers, including how were they able to coordinate such an attack, apparently coming by sea, very probably from Pakistan, with or without the knowledge of the Pakistani government. Of course, Pakistan and India have been engaged since the establishment of the two nations in a dispute over Kashmir, and we now have two nuclear neighbors who are staring down at one another with a great deal of distrust. Well, I want to now play for you an interview I held a little earlier today with Gary Moskowitz. Those of you who are longtime Paltalk users may remember Gary. He is a former police officer with the NYPD, now a security consultant. He's actually even gone to Israel to train Israelis in counterterrorism activities. And his main focus since September the 11th, 2001 has been to get religious institutions to protect themselves against possible terrorist attacks. And of course, the Chabad house is a religious institution, and it was targeted by terrorists. So because at sundown local time, the Sabbath begins, Rabbi Moskowitz could not be here live, but we recorded an interview with him right here in Paltalk Studio A a little earlier today, and Boaz is going to play that interview now. I now welcome Gary Moskowitz, a former New York City police officer and a security expert, an expert on terrorism, who has actually gone to Israel to help train counterterrorism troops in Israel, and who offers a course to houses of worship to protect those houses of worship against terrorist attacks. Gary Moskowitz, welcome back to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
It's a pleasure having you here with us. So there are so many questions that I have in the short time that we have together. The first thing that's very disconcerting about this is how highly coordinated an attack this was on 2 luxury hotels and a Jewish center, and apparently the intelligence community failed to pick this up in advance.
Well, there's no question about it. The intelligence only goes so far. We rely too much on intelligence and on government security. We have to learn how to protect ourselves. In fact, every major police department around the world realizes that they have to have cooperation from the public. In Israel, Israel's under attack all the time. One of the most important defenses they have is their own people here. Every school has a threat assessment. Every synagogue, every house of worship has their own threat assessment here, and they have trained people, and they practice drills here. If there's no cooperation between the government and the security forces of that government and the people there, then there's not going to be protection, proper protection for the public. It's as simple as that.
Well, Gary Moskowitz, you and I are both in New York City, and it will come as no surprise to you, but perhaps to people who haven't visited here, that although New York was visited by